Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SoundWeb Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with a terrific gentleman who was born in Los Angeles, now living in Las Vegas. He's a self-made entrepreneur, real estate investor, philanthropist, and announcing a U.S. presidential run for 2024. Be ready, everybody. And for those who are, on the side of Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, and all the others are in the running as well. Lifelong Republican supporting LGBTQ, pro-choice, and legalizing cannabis, and some of the other stands that he supports. We'll talk about that. And a few plans: securing the border, strengthening national security, access to quality education, and he also established a wonderful foundation in 21 helping the homeless, providing education, and serves children with cancer, youth with disability. And this guy is going to make a run, and we're going to talk about some of the issues and why he's qualified. And of course, he was also a one-time president, which I'm sure you will care about. Live, ladies and gentlemen, in Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Las Vegas, should say, self-made entrepreneur, real estate investor, philanthropist, announcing a U.S. presidential 2024 run. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Barak Zilberberg. Barak, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good evening, Mike. Thank you so very much. I'm humbled and honored to be in a conversation with you now. I'm looking forward for a conversation. It'll be very interesting and historic as well.
Mm-hmm. And certainly historic indeed as well, too. And I think we are about to make history. So we got to see your name in the in the news sometime here. So you're born in Los Angeles, you're in Las Vegas now, self-made entrepreneur, real estate investor, philanthropist. You're announcing a U.S. presidential run for 2024. You're also one-time president of Ultimate Plumbing in Southern California. And also you did real estate at Zilberberg International starting in 21. And you've been a lifelong Republican supporting a number of issues. And you got plans to secure the border, strengthening national security, and a lot more. We'll go over some of the things here. You'll establish your own foundation in 21, helping the homeless, provide education, and serving children with cancer, youth with disability, and more. And before getting all that, Barak, tell us how you first got started.
Well, basically, where the nation is headed and how we're dwindling. The two parties, which are the Republicans, Democrats, way too far to the right, way too far to the left. And it's basically distracting the objectives of moving the country forward is needed. So what we need to do is we need to get into logistics of our nation, running the nation as a business, as an entrepreneur, which I am, and I know how to make things work head on. I get into situations and problems, which in essence, I have to make quick decisions, effective, productive, and achieving an outcome of the problem, which is getting out of the problem. That's the whole key here. And I'd like to bring that into the arena of politics now and running our nation, as I said, as a business. We all pay and attribute taxes to our tax system, and we need to know where it's going, how it's being allocated. We need to have transparency, honorability, honesty, integrity. That's the type of leader we need in this position. I've been a witness since a child, and I know you have as well, and all of us, and we've witnessed the fact of corruption, of the people not getting what this nation really can bring out in opportunities and all kinds of aspects of education or children. There's so many raising subjects that need work here. So I'm saying to myself, somebody has to stick their neck out, and I'm just gonna go ahead and stick my neck out here for the nation, just as those people in the forefronts that protected our freedom and our Constitution, and those who have fallen for our nation as well, help me, achieve the greatness and capitalize off this wonderful nation that we have. And I believe now it's my time to give back, just as those have given to this blessed nation. I would like to give back to this blessed nation, and hopefully we could keep not only the nation, the world, because think of it, the world has existed for, millions of years. So we should keep our planet, our Earth, and this country for millions and millions of years to come, and for further generations in the outlook of this world. And if I can make a movement of such, then may the Lord take my soul away, and I've achieved my mission here on earth. That's how I feel. I'm here to attribute good vibes, good energy, goodness, and that's what my mission is, simply. I've been so blessed, not only as a person, the family, the spheres, the friends, colleagues that I've been around with and sphered myself with, they also have flourished and excelled in life. So bringing that ideology, same ideologies as a philanthropist, not only to the country, but to the world. Furthermore, we need to have peace initiatives and be in the best relations with the rest of the world and other countries. Yeah, I mean, we don't agree with the stances of communism. It's not written in our constitution and our values. However, there's countries that do preside as such. We don't have to agree with them, but we must come to best relations with each other so that everybody, in the end of the day, we're peaceful, because think of it, those countries, people in our country that migrated are from a lot of those countries. So if we could go ahead and unite as a nation and bring everything together into perspective, whereas we're all as one, with the diversity that we have in this country, it's beautiful. We could personify that to the rest of the world and bring peaceful initiatives throughout the world as well.
And certainly peaceful as well too. You had your thoughts about with other countries and everything else, and we'll get to that part. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career? What was that one precise moment? What were you doing that simply said, I'm gonna run for president?
I ran for governor. I'm actually a previous gubernatorial candidate, ex-gubernatorial candidate in the state of Nevada. And, and I learned so much just traveling, listening to people. And the whole key is listening to people, because by interpreting and listening to people, you could go ahead and educate yourself as to what are the needs of the people. So once I traveled, I always wanted to be in leadership, whether it was governor or now president or wherever in the means of leadership, because I always led all my life, all my businesses. I am a governor and I'm a president as well as we speak, because I govern my properties, right? And not only that, I am the president and CEO of a lot of the companies that I have. So with that said, it's the same concept, it's just a little smaller scale in the United States, of course. But in perspective, it's all the same. And being a person that started as a blue-collar worker, as a plumber, and from nothing, from the ground, working my way up. What has helped me is that I relate to every individual, no matter what color, race, religion, creed, sexual orientation, gender, it's all irrelevant. What matters is you cater to all. Same thing, that's in the business, same thing as the president. You must cater to all the people residing as Americans, as permanent residences, as anybody that presides and actually is in our country, we must cater to them all. Now, of course, they should attribute taxes to our system, because that's the only way we could actually bring it to life. And we're really getting, we're not ascertaining the taxes that is needed in this nation, because we have a lot of illegal people that are residing in our nation. Therefore, we're losing tax revenue. That's number one. We don't know who is in our nation. We don't know their names. We don't know anything about them, right? And they're working. They're receiving money and compensations from underneath the table, which is cash. They're sending the money overseas to their families. We're losing from the tax revenue. So as far as my immigration reform of the Zilberberg Reform Initiative of immigration would be so that, we vet each and every migrant that wants to enter into this country. We go ahead and we collect an admittance fee of every person that we vetted, and they're great people. Admittance fee of 30 to 50,000 per person, because anyway they pay.
Wow, 30 to 50,000. I was thinking 30 to $50 and just simply say that save up your own money and go to school. That's what I was more thinking of.
Yeah, there has to be an admittance fee of some sort, and then furthermore, once they're vetted, beautiful people will give them a social security number and a work permit, so they could go ahead and attribute out there to our communities. Again, we know who they are, where they reside, their addresses. We have records on them, so we know who's in our country. Very important. And we must secure our borders. Under no circumstances our borders should be open. We should secure them, and we should present to people who want to come into our country. Yeah, we are a nation of migrants or immigrants, all of us. But there's a way of coming, and there's a way of coming in here legally. And we will have the programs in place, whereas you can come legally. That's number one. Number two is I'd like to go ahead and bring our industries back here. I would like to see more made in USA. I want to have all my infrastructure and manufacturing and industries all back here. We're going to also dig into our resources here in the United States, whereas we don't pay $5 a gallon. We'll actually pay $2.50 a gallon.
I've never seen 99 cents, to be honest with you. I hate to be spoiled. Like 91, was it 99 cents or something? You're going to have to go lower than that, Barak, lower than that. So if you can get the 99 cents, I'll definitely vote for you.
99 cents, huh? Okay, yeah. We will find a way to get it down to 99 cents. We have
and still drive those big vehicles we love.
Yeah, and then this way the truckers, their profitability will be more, and everybody will flourish. There will be affordability in the nation, and we're not reliant on our pharmaceuticals from overseas entering our country. 90% of our pharmaceuticals are from China, just to let you know.
Oh yeah, and of course you go over the border to Canada, get cheaper medication, and going down to Mexico get cheaper surgery. It's like, go figure.
Yeah, so why not bring everything here and keep it here rather than from the outside? Now, I would like to have also even trade amongst other countries. We're exporting $1. You're exporting $1 over to us. So we keep our people working, you keep your people working, and everybody flourishes all around. It's not a one-sided deal where, we're just getting more exports, more imports. Excuse my terminology. More imports than exports in this nation. And that's
okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm writing down some of the situations here, and we'll cover that with Barak Zilberberg, the U.S. presidential candidate for 2024. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. In Evil Evan endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for it goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com on our 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Odyssey, Google Play, as well as Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and also follow us on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, and follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and more, and take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com, check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, plus T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more, Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with Las Vegas self-made entrepreneur, real estate investor, and philanthropist announcing a U.S. presidential run for 2024, Barak Zilberberg, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we go over, some of the issues and everything else, and you talked about how you got into plumbing and everything like that. And how'd you first get into real estate? First of all, you started that out.
Yeah, well, in correlation, I know the anatomy of the bones in the building because I'm a plumber and I've been in the field of construction, in my beginning years and learning. And being in plumbing and knowing the anatomy and the bones and the structure of, real estate, so nobody could go ahead and tell you something that you don't know.
Right.
So in conjunction with building my business, my plumbing business, I went ahead and I actually sacrificed. I wasn't out there spending on boats and toys and flying luxurious vacations.
Who does these days?
I'm just saying, I was very frugal and very, very humbled and content of what I actually really needed in order to live.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need a roof over your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need food. There's certain things that you need that are necessities. So you sort out the necessities and the wants and the luxurious items. And I was more in the necessities, saving my money. And by saving my money, I kept channeling and investing into real estate because that's what I know. I mean, wholeheartedly. Every person needs a place to live and every person needs a place to work out of. It's inevitable. It's just like plumbing. I mean, everybody needs a plumber out there. What are you going to do? I mean, your drain's stopped up, right? Your whole house is backed up. You have to call a plumber. And I always channeled myself into places of need. Not in luxurious aspects, but in a place of need. Like, it's very important to correlate yourself with the necessities of us humans. And I always was a giver, and by just giving, I've prospered throughout my life. I wasn't even chasing the money. When you do the right things in life and you have your heart and your passion and you wholeheartedly want to serve people and make sure they're satisfied, the rewards come your way either way. So money comes in, just do the right thing and take care of people, serve people, make sure they're happy. Even if it costs you more, to outlay onto a job or a service or what have you, outlay more. Because that outlay that you're going to go ahead and conduct amongst the customer, you're going to satisfy a customer. And that customer will definitely throw you many other customers along the way, 10, 20, 100, it can even roll into thousands.
like small, medium, large corporations and everything. So that's in the gamut too. And of course, talking about those is that dealing with the business and everything. And of course, going back to taxes and everything else, and the tax system. What are your current thoughts on the tax system right now? And what would you do to change it if you were president?
Well, I like to have deregulation on taxes so that it's more encouraging for people, small businesses, medium, large, to keep ascertaining labor force, growing their companies, expanding. It's very important, and domestically here, very important. So deregulating the taxes is one of my objectives. And then in other words, with the migrants paying taxes, that'll balance out, I believe, in deregulating the tax system aspect of those people that are in small businesses, medium and large, very much so. So the key factor is the engine. The small businesses, more than any other businesses, are the factor and the backbone of this nation. So I would wholeheartedly emphasize on small businesses, but all businesses, but particularly in small mom pops.
And of course, you talk about the small businesses as well, too, that you're talking about like the import and export and everything else. And of course, what would you do to change the system? Like, would you change the tariff system, or how we do tariffs and everything like that?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have initiatives, whereas we have fair trade amongst from our country to other countries and other countries on to us. I don't believe in putting tariffs. I don't believe in all of that. I believe in negotiating in peaceful measures, whereas both countries can benefit. We're gonna say when I'm in office, I'm presiding. We're gonna have our manufacturing and everything here in our nation, so we won't be reliant on any other country out there. So hey, you know what? We don't need that product. We don't need that service. We don't need that. We have that. We have everything here. And by correlating everything here, we can rely only on ourselves. Now, if you do want to exchange and trade, then yeah, we'll trade you grains. We'll trade you wheat. We'll trade you something agriculturally that you would need, and then you could trade anything over to us, dollar for dollar, equivalent in trades. And that's how I'm going to conduct everything in this nation. That's
And that's a really good one too. You keep talking about the migrants, the immigration, and how you want to secure the borders and everything else. You want to tighten things up. You want to charge that 30,000, 50,000, which I think is a really good idea. And also thought about you having the immigrants take the exam like they did. And how did your parents come to America? What was the immigration process they had to go through?
Well, my dad, he actually flew into Los Angeles, first to New York. He didn't like New York, then he flew over to LA. That was his final destination. And right when he went on board, he had his permanent residence card. We had family here in the States, and through his cousin, he went ahead and signed off on him as responsibility. And it was just very simple and very easy at the time. Now it's much difficult in order to enter this country. So by the measures of people trying to get in here and can't, they cross the border. They jump the fence. They do any measure in order coming across this blessed nation because they're despair of where they are. We came here to the United States. All of us, I mean, I was born here, but my parents, you know, they're immigrants. Obviously, I don't. All of our parents, all our families came somewhere, and the fact that it was much easier and people didn't need to go through those measures. So by reforming the immigration, as I mentioned, and securing our borders, getting an admittance fee, giving them a social security and everything, they'd love to enter this country legally. That's what I believe. And then we will also enhance our revenue into our nation, definitely.
And that's where the small business aspect come from as well too. And of course, I got a really good quote from Wayne on Root, libertarian candidate. One time he said that everyone is a small business owner. Do you agree with that one?
Yes, everyone. And you know, even somebody that is living in their home, think about it. You're living in your home, right? You're working out of your home. So you could, that's a tax shelter right there. You know, you could claim rent as to where you're operating. Every person should that wants to be an entrepreneur and go into business themselves should form corporations and LLCs, even nonprofit organizations. The more the merrier, you know, and then getting people into those type of positions and forwarding our nation in an engine of a superpower as we once were. We're not the superpower we once were. I believe we are, but in reality, it's not. We're behind. We're very behind. We're lacking fast transit systems within our nation, which I'd like to focus on that. And we're lacking our education for our children. It's very important. Our children is our future. And if we don't invest in our children and we don't understand our children and guide them in the right way, then we have no future. So education is another subject, and just enhancing our GDP figures, you know, breaking records each and every year in growth. Not only that, the fact that the growth and the work in the labor force, we need more people. I know AI is coming in, but
oh, that's an evil word in my book. That's an evil word, AI. Oh my gosh, don't get me involved in that.
It's actually already in, but I believe it should be regulated somewhat, AI, and we must rely on, you know, humans as well. I mean, we can't rely on AI, you know, and we have to focus on cybersecurity and secure homeland security and secure our servers, you know, that's going on. I mean, think of it. Somebody could go in and just hack us, and then there's no AI, there's no internet. We're so reliant on technology. We must barricade that very much. We have to be advanced in those senses where, you know, we protect our interests, we protect our country, we protect entry into our servers. That's another subject that I would like to focus on. Like also to focus on cures for cancer. I believe we shouldn't be, no human or no American should be deceased of cancer. We should have cures already for this subject and other subjects as well through research and development of you know, our health. We should reform our health system as well. It doesn't work. It never worked. And I'm looking to reform our health system as well. You know,
and I think that's a very important subject as well too. We covered strengthening national security and of course also investing in infrastructure. We may have covered that, but what about the military? What's your proposal in you know, rebuilding our military?
Yes, we need to invest into our military. We must have the capabilities and the abilities to defend ourselves as a country. So we're not vulnerable. You know, it's very important to defend ourselves. Every country in the world has the right to defend themselves. If there's an aggression of some sort, you have to be in position to defend yourself. So I'm wholeheartedly in military and weaponry and auxiliary and all of that that exists, and recruiting as many militants in our divisions of our military.
Mhm.
And it's just amazing. I love the military, and if there's no wars, then there's no wars. It's fine, you know. But
Boy, I wish we had no wars right now, but right now that's not happening. We do have a few wars that's going on right now, and some of the hot button topics. We'll talk about that with U.S. presidential candidate Barak Zilberberg. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Missing. We'll be back with Las Vegas self-made entrepreneur, real estate investor, and U.S. presidential candidate for 2024, Barak Zilberberg, after this time. We're back with the amazing multi-talented Barak Zilberberg, U.S. presidential candidate of 2024, here on the Mike Wagner Show, covering a number of issues like with taxes, immigration, schools, small businesses, and everything else. And of course, you know, we talked about how bad a deal we have no wars. Well, we do have some wars going on. Of course, the number one, the Ukraine war, and you know, give us your thoughts on that. And you know, if we were to step in, how do we resolve it, and what do we do? Do we support Ukraine, or do we just say no?
well, we have to have best relations with both leaders, both Vladimir Putin and also Zelensky. And what has to be done is, see, I'm a very, very well negotiated person, and I'm sure if I meet with the two of them in a table, and I understand one side, and I go over to the other side, understand the other side, putting the two and bridging the gap, and making a final. First off, we have to cease fire. There's no reason for all of this. You know, lives are being lost. That's number one, lives. You know, I'm not talking about anything else. Lives. People are in despair, and not only that, I mean, look at the buildings. I mean, look what's going on over there. So with that said, ceasefire, negotiating, finalizing a peace initiative where both are happy and just move forward. And this way is done, you know, simply done. And it's just a matter of coming together and coordinating it, orchestrating it the right way, you know, and in the gaps. Same thing in our governmental systems that we have now, whereas we have the Republicans and the Democrats. If I could bring the two together, bridge the gap, then I could move the nation forward as needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of it's a give and take from each side. You know, that's all what it is. You give and you take and you take and you give, and until you come to an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
It's agreed, signed, it's inked, and we're done. We move over. You know, let's move on. Let's move on to things that are in a positive manner. They'll bring positivity and good energy and good vibes out there, so everybody could feel good and everybody could prosper and succeed and set their abilities as to what they want to do in their lives. And that's what we should focus on. We should focus on wars and distractions and you know, all of what's going on in the news, in the media. I don't even watch the news. I don't know if
I wish I could say the same thing, but I keep getting these headlines on my phone. You want to read them, but then it's like they want you to read on and on. It's almost like, hey, I've got other stuff to worry about. And of course, you know, things to worry about. You know, news about China and Taiwan, and give us your thoughts on those.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, every country deserves to exist. That goes for Ukraine. Ukraine deserves to exist. Russia deserves to exist. Taiwan deserves to exist, and so does China. So all countries now to go in and confiscate something that doesn't belong to you is not right. So I don't believe in conquering or confiscating something that doesn't belong to you. If it belongs to you and it's righteously yours, then yeah, I could see that, it's yours and it's yours. But if it isn't, it's not your job to ascertain something that doesn't belong to you. Simple. I'm a common sense person. I look at things just in a common sense of things. And that's where everything has to go in politics and business and everything that we do out there. Because there's no instructions, there's no instructions in being a parent. There's no instructions in getting married. There's no instructions in anything. There's no manual for these things. There's no manual. But what it is the ingredient is just to be kind and to be sincere and to be giving and loving and respecting and embracing. Regardless if you agree with whomever you're with or whatever the discussion may be, or it's all irrelevant. It's about respecting one another, admiring one another, and bridging the gap for one another.
And of course, you also take a stand. You also talk about transgender and LGBTQ, and give us your thoughts on those.
Yes. Well, I believe every human being is a child of God, the Lord. And I believe no matter their orientation or it's all irrelevant. What the objective is if they're good people, righteous, honest, they actually serve our communities, they do well for others. That's what's important. It's not important as to what the person's sexual preferences or if the person is transitioned, or it's all irrelevant. I have done sales all my life. I actually was one of the salesmen that trained my salesmen as well. And I actually went into 6 homes a day, meeting people in their kitchen tables, presenting my company. So I've entered so many homes in my life and ran a business and what have you. And I used to sit in front of everybody, no matter what. And the whole key is making them feel comfortable. That's what it's all about, because that's a customer. So I sat in front of, every ethnicity, religion, gender, sexual orientation, any person out there, I sat with. And I made them comfortable. I made them special. And I represent my company in a way where we're going to go ahead and take care of you. We're reasonable, we're going to take care of you, and we're going to over deliver even of what your expectations are. And that's how I conducted myself on.
And of course, you do it really well too, Barak. You also established the Zilberberg Foundation in 21, helping the homeless, providing education, serving children with cancer, youth, and disability. And tell us more about the foundation and what exactly at that moment it got you to establish it. It's like, what was that moment to say, "Hey, I'm going to do this"?
Well, my foundation focuses on the homeless, focuses on affordable housing. Again, remedies for cancer, chronic diseases that exist out there, and also world peace. These are things that is much needed, and our education as well. I mean, there's so many subjects, I can't even narrow it down to one.
Who can these days with YouTube, Udemy, and Allison with all his free courses? Who can?
Yeah, you can't just narrow it down to one issue. There's a lot of issues. So that's why I'm running as president, because as president and you preside in leadership, that's when you really could make a difference. That's when really you could sign things into perspective for the people. That's why I'm running, wholeheartedly and passionately. But I like to go ahead and subject that through my foundation, very much so. And those are the issues that are needed. Wholeheartedly, we have no affordability in housing. People are out in the street homeless. We're such a rich nation, and yeah, some of the homeless want to be homeless, but what about those who don't want to be homeless, which I've interviewed many times, on the streets, every which way, and I've interviewed them. So they just don't have the ability to go and well themselves in a center where it's inviting and actually can help them. So I like to go ahead and facilitate those things and put them back into homeownership so they're not homeless. And then they have jobs and they have all types of aspirations, and they're confident in themselves. So they tell their buddies out in the street, hey, you know what, this actually worked for me, and you should come in and join. They'll help you out, and they will come as well. So all of a sudden, you have a worldwide homeless facility for everybody to well themselves and get back in the communities and into home ownership. So yeah, and think about also with the cancer, our children are born in this world, and they have to leave us shortly after a numerous amount of years, which is a shame. We should have years for them so they could live a long life. Everybody should live a long life, and I wholeheartedly believe in nutrition and fitness. Every day I focus on those elements and aspects, and fitness and eating healthy, have a nutritional diet, and enhancing and prolonging everybody's life.
And that's really important too. You talk about the the medical issues we have, and healthcare and everything, and of course you also legalize cannabis, and that kind of just ties into it as well too. And what's your plan to legalize cannabis, especially pardon the inmates that are serving jail time for cannabis?
Yes. Well, first off, I will release them. I pardon all of them. There's no reason for them to sit for reasons of cannabis. That's number one. Number two is we're going to legalize cannabis throughout the nation. So we'll be all legal, and states that want to take positions in this initiative, they can. If they don't, they choose not to, that's fine. The governors in the states would decide from there. But my job is to make it open and legalized in the nation and inviting.
And I think that's also encouraging too. You could also have the hospitals dispense cannabis as well, which has been found that I've talked to people that it actually cures, most things like cancer and most diseases and everything else.
Yeah, I believe I call it the plant. The plant is remarkable. It does help people. And then it diminishes twitches amongst children, and there's a lot of wellness and good out of the plant. So, and again, I think it's much better than alcohol. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Alcohol is legalized right throughout the nation, and look at all the car accidents we have and all the things that are in perspective from alcoholism. I don't see why, I really don't see why the cannabis is illegal if alcohol is.
And I'm thinking about the whole cannabis thing. You should have Willie Nelson as your running mate.
Yeah, or Cheech and Chong.
Oh yes, I forgot about those two. Where's your license? Where's your driver's license? One in the front and one in the back. I gotta watch that movie again and listen to Willie Nelson. We gotta do that sometime. And of course, we covered all the subjects. We'd love to have you back. Of course, there's some things we haven't touched on, and then when we get closer to the time of the presidency, sometime in 24, and hopefully you're still running. In the meantime, where can we find all the information? What's your website, and how do we get a hold of you? Where can we find more about you, Barak?
Everybody, you're invited to my website, www.barak, BARAKZIL, as in Larry, B as in boy, ER, B as in boy, ERG.com. enter into my website, and over there I have all my policies, positions, my outlooks. We have objectives for this beautiful, blessed nation. God bless this nation. And all I do is I ask for me to help you, help me. Just as Jerry Maguire said, help me. Actually, not help me, help you. Help me.
Right.
Help
That's
you.
right. Show
Help
me the
you.
money.
Show me the money. Show me the money. Help me help you. And how that happens is I have a $1 attribution, contribution, donation into my campaign. $1. Well, that $1 has a huge future ahead for you, the people, and this blessed nation. That's all it asks. So think of it. If a million Americans donate $1, that's $1 million. That'll go very far. And I assure you, I could go starting getting on ballots in states, and that money would go through my campaign entirely, so that I will be victorious. Not me. It's not me. It's the people. We, the people, are all victorious. It's not about me. I am just the voice of the people. I'm the voice of you. So being said and done as to all my objectives, and furthermore, vote for me.
We will certainly do that going into 2023 and beyond. We're here with presidential candidate for 2024, Barak Zilberberg, on the Mike Wagner Show. And just a couple more things. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Well, I believe all those who paved the way for our prosperous nation, where we started and where we are today. I commemorate those who, the entrepreneurs, the business people, people of vision, people that, they have an outlook of the future, talking 10, 20, 100, 500 years from now, even thousands of years from now. I'm really humbled and viewing as to your journeys and what you've done and how you inspired everybody's lives. I could name names if you want, such as Steve Jobs, very admirable. We all have his phones today. I mean, not all, but in the most part, we have his phones and what he's done and the applications he set forward, and the person that he set in position in the company is Steve Cook. I'm sorry, not Steve Cook, Tim Cook.
Cook, yes.
Tim Cook, that's right. He set Tim Cook and gave him all of his visionary notes in the future. And look how Tim Cook is running the company. I call him Mr. Apple. That's really who he is, Mr. Apple. So it's very inspiring. And then you have Elon Musk, which is an immigrant, came in this country from South Africa. Look where he is today. All those people that took risks and not knowing where they're going to go or what they're doing sometimes, and making the mistakes and having tons of failures, and still brushing themselves, getting up and persevering. Those are the people I admire. And that's what I've filtered within myself.
And that's certainly amazing as well, too. Great point. So what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I give advice to everybody is to believe in yourself. It starts with you as a human being. You have to really connect with yourself internally, externally, and every which way, but it starts internally first. You have to connect with yourself. You have to understand yourself, know what your likings are, what your dislikes are, your interests. You have to know your whole self and your body. Biologically, you have to know. You have to know what to eat, what not to eat. You have to know what bothers you internally, externally, in every which way. And Also, I forgot to tell you, I focus on mental illness as well. That's a huge subject in my foundation as well. So correlating that, within mind over matter is key. And always go out there and do the things that you're passionate about, you love to do, and don't let anyone stop you from doing what you want to do. And those people who stop you and say, oh, you know what, you can't do this and you can't do that, that's how they feel. It's not how you feel. So, yes.
And
So that's how I've persevered all my life.
And that's a very good point as well. I mean, you made a great journey, Barak. I gotta say that. We're here with the Las Vegas self-made entrepreneur, real estate investor, philanthropist, U.S. presidential candidate for 2024, Barak Zilberberg, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Barak, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Live have you back, and hopefully you'll be in the presidential race. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people, I don't know if I can say purchase, but just get more information and just how to support, contribute, and everything else.
Yes, www.barakzilberberg.com, BarakZilberberg.com. I have also Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm all over. I'm Threads. I mean, all my platforms going up. I'm there. I exist. There's a lot of press releases that come out and a lot of interesting things as I'm going on in this beautiful journey of mine. So please follow me, follow me, donate to me, tribute to me, anything you have questions you may have, or anything that is uncertain, ask me questions. I'll be delighted to answer any questions you may have in your life, or how you think you can take a certain piece of an advice. I would love to advise. I'm a consultant and an advisor and a mentor and a philanthropist. So I believe I could help you with a solution. I always come through because I love people, and I've seen a lot of situations, and I've been through a lot of transactions and ventures throughout my life. So I believe with the experience that I have, I certainly can help you.
And certainly will do. And I'm looking forward to seeing the presidential race. Once again, Barak, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. Wish all best. And we'll see you in 24 in the presidential run. And you definitely have a great future, have you, Barak?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless, Mike Wagner. And thank you for having me on your show. It's an honor. And I want to tell you one thing. You're very well spoken and you're on point. And you're definitely a great commentator, not only a commentator, but a person of position as such. You're incredible. Thank you.